everyone. We're back talking about the early church and specifically the church history from the time of the apostles on up to modern times. So, and when we're talking about the early church, we're talking about the persecutions being severe. People were treated um, as the worst part of society. um, the rumors for a normal Roman citizen who was asked about Christianity, they wanted him gone, and the reason why is that the rumors were that they were cannibals, that they ate the blood or ate the body and drank the blood of their founder, and also they practiced these love feasts, which in a time in ancient Rome, there was so much um, going on in as far as cults and orgies, that a love feast was kind of maybe understood or assumed to be an orgy. So if you had a group that was or practicing orgies and cannibalism, you would want them gone too. This, of course, was not what the Christians were doing, and um, and it's something that they had to kind of survive. So they were underground and were tried to keep that secret. Um, now, so through the persecutions, thousands of Christians died and became martyrs. Many of the earliest saints were martyrs of this time. So then we come to the time of Constantine. Constantine was an emperor of Rome, and he came into power, and he smartly used Christianity, specifically its pacifism. Um, the fact that Christians did not fight back. They did not fight, right? They wanted peace at all costs. And in order to do this, they kept the empire intact. So he made Christianity the number one most important official religion of the Roman Empire. And so all kinds of people just signed up. They didn't know what Christianity was, and they got baptized. Well, it was great. They had an explosion of the number of Christians, but as far as like honest to God, um, worshiping, believing, faith-filled Christians, it just completely diluted, because people who became Christian just so that they got hold of some kind of position, wanted to get in good with administration or something like that. Um, yeah, so you have a sense that there is a lack of faith at this time. Um, and as the Roman Empire kind of begins to fall, you have great Germanic tribes and the Huns attacking. And one really interesting story I really like is the story of Attila. Attila, the Hun, which you might have heard of, but don't really know his story. He marched through Germany and Eastern Europe, and he dominated everyone militarily. And as he was moving through the Germanic tribes and then down into Italy, the weak Roman emperor at the time said, "Oh boy, I'm out of here." And he took what was left of the Roman soldiers and he bailed, and they sailed away and left Rome completely exposed. Now, one thing that I want to kind of make very clear: Rome was the center of of um, all of culture and of the art and literature of the world. All of Western civilization had its focus there in Rome. And if Rome was to fall and to be completely destroyed by Attila, then we would have lost all of Western civilization, literature, all of the Greek stuff, all the Mesopotamian stuff would have probably mostly been gone. And so this was a very, very pivotal moment. And the Pope, or the Bishop of Rome, as he was known, he's just one of the bishops, but the Bishop of Rome kind of held some special place in the church hierarchy, um, was the name Leo. And Leo decided that there was no one there in Rome to be able to speak or advocate. They had no army to speak of, and so So he decided to go out in front and not wait for Attila to march on Rome and destroy it. So Leo, with a few of his friends, left and went north to engage Attila, not to fight him, but just to address him and beg. And so, as Leo is brought into the presence of this great military genius, Attila, who could have slaughtered Leo and moved on, um, instead, Attila recognizes that Leo is a holy man, and he wants to hedge his bets, and he's not really sure if this was a good thing to do to just kill Leo. And and so instead he bows down to Leo and says, "I know you're a holy man. What can I do for you?" Knowing that Attila had all the power. And Leo said, I'm begging you um, not to destroy Rome." And so Leo had a great idea. He said, "I will, I will educate your children and the children of all of your commanders, because education is the key to holding on to power." And Attila agreed with that. And recognizing that this was a great mind and a great educator, he decided that this might be a wise move. And so Leo pretty much single-handedly saves Rome from being completely destroyed by the Huns. And with that, you have and Leo, keeps up with his end of the bargain and educates the children, has his priests educate the children. And with mathematics and with history and with literature also comes religion. And so there's a conversion process going on right on the nose of Attila. And so with this, Leo is known today as Leo the Great. Um, so he ends up converting or beginning the conversion of the northern Germanic tribes. And this act saves Western civilization. And so now the followers of Attila, or the leaders of the Germanic tribes, are going to be those that are going to continue on. And now we enter to the Dark Ages, where there is fewer and fewer educated, and a lot of Christian conversion, is done by this through the sword. And so these sons of Attila, and then their descendants after them, are dedicated and committed to the church, and they go on and they conquest and they convert to Christianity, but with in a way that was never designed for by Jesus. So this gets us through the Dark Ages, and here we are. And we move into the Middle Ages, where the church owns more and more land. So those young leaders of the Germanic tribes and all of Europe, which are kind of more like these are tribes and not established kingdoms or anything like that. They begin the process of that through the Middle Ages. The process of moving into kind of kingdoms and that kind of thing. So, and the church again is at the head of all of the power here. Now, abbots and mother superiors of monasteries and nunneries were the landowners, and then the people had to kind of deal with them and being able to ask them. So there was great power there, and we'll continue on in our next session.